Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's weekly energy boost. My name is Elisheva, and I'm here with Eitan in the same room, finally, after a long time, to share with you the secrets behind looking for ladders. Now, it's a funny metaphor, and we're going to explain how it relates to our own individual lives. But this week, we're really given a glimpse into the unique responsibility that each one of us has, not only for our own personal journey and soul, but a certain piece of the puzzle that's necessary for the world. And as always, we hope to fill it with practical tools, stories, and actionable items so that this week really helps you to make a stride in your own personal processes. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most practical and powerful tools to navigate the coming 7 days. We do that by gleaning through the wisdom of Kabbalah and picking the most powerful and practical teachings for not only the week, but also thinking about what the world is going through. And that's always a very powerful influence, taking from our own experiences and the experiences of people that we know living this work. And every episode ends up offering wisdom and tools that you can use anytime. So specifically this week, we're trying to understand how we can activate and how sometimes we also interfere with the processes, the gifts that the universe, the creator, is trying to give us, and how to see more clearly what those gifts and opportunities are and stop interfering with the process. So Eitan, where do you think we should begin?
First, I'm happy to be with you here together
In the sunshine of
in
California.
person. Just today turned sunshine.
Just today for you.
Yeah. So I think the beginning of the story in the Torah that connects to this portion, it is the vision that Jacob received. So about whatever journey he needs to go through in order to go to his next level. And it's interesting. He had a dream, he had a major revelation. He saw clearly where he needs to go. He saw that it will be challenging. He felt the support of the light of the Creator. But he said something very powerful. And I didn't know anything. I didn't have a clue about this vision, how powerful the light, the support that I'm getting, the direction that I'm getting. So let's start with that, because I think what we're learning from Jacob, because the journey, the difficult journey that Jacob went through in order to become one of the biggest channels ever to bring light to humanity, in order to meet his soulmate, the journey that he went through, to meet his father-in-law, which is an evil man. It's actually the journey of our life. Because our soul made a contract with the Creator. I want to reveal my potential. And in order to reveal our potential, we need to go through a journey. And part of this journey is uncomfortable moments, and strange moments, and difficult moments, and annoying people, and things that don't make sense, but it's part of my journey. And sometimes we see clearly, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I will commit. But then we quit, we stop. But that phrase, I did not have a clue, or I didn't know anything, I think it's something that all of us need to strive daily to reach a level I don't know. If I always know exactly what I need to do, and I'm so clear, where is the allowance of the endless light to shine through me? So it was not just about that particular dream, because there's dreams and visions that comes to each one of us daily. If I'm able to empty myself, empty my vessel from, I know I have to figure it out. Sometimes I have no clue. I met someone today that told me, but I don't know what decision to make. What's the next step? Why are you so reactive about not knowing? It's good news that you have no clue. Embrace that to a loud sense of clarity, and then to go to the next level again. I don't know. Because I don't know, the Rav Berg always said, what part of me don't know? The 1%. So if my 1% don't know, I'm allowing my 99%, which is my soul, to know. So that's, I would say, step number one in receiving clarity, in receiving strength, in receiving guidance. Find daily, I don't know, and it's okay.
And not only I don't know and it's okay, but I think part of the teaching or the understanding we get from this whole story is it's in those moments of not knowing that the growth lies. I was just in a I call it a lecture with Monica Berg, and one of the things that she shared, which really resonates with me and I think is so perfect for what we're talking about, is that one of the greatest fears we have, obviously, is of the unknown. And that not knowing, being in that place of not knowing is we do everything to avoid it, right? We ask ChatGPT, we ask the experts, we consult with our family, anything to not know. And that fear of the unknown is really robbing us of our potential. That idea that we wait until we have all the information, or we wait until someone gives us permission, or we wait until the right timing or the right group of people. They're in that unknowing or lack of clarity, maybe. It's really, I think the story of Jacob's ladder is in his not knowing, in that darkness, in the uncertainty, that's when he could access the ladder to his next level. And I love that visual of when you're experiencing lack of clarity, darkness, the unknown, look for the ladder. Look for the ladder that the creator of the universe is extending to you, because the purpose, or maybe it's also because we think that that state of not knowing or lack of clarity is a bad thing. We assume something is stuck, it's wrong, we're missing something. And that perception of lack or not working brings even more apprehension about being in a state of unknown or lack of clarity. And it's funny because even when you look at, and I always think about it, parenting is a great drawing board for understanding these ideas. When you were born, if you don't have kids, you can look at yourself. When you were born or your child was born, did you have any idea? Do you have any idea who they're going to become? You think you know. And as they grow up and they like basketball or they're good at math or they're musically
clue.
nothing. Like it's almost like a joke. The creator's looking at you and saying, you think you know what this package is going to grow into? You have no clue. So in that same sense, right, your parents looked at you and they thought you're going to be an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer. And who you are today has probably nothing to do with their desires or their expectations. That sense of wanting to know is actually part of what draws the drama and the challenge and the chaos to us. Being being in that state of allowance, like you said, letting the clarity come to you, letting the pieces of the puzzle fall into place, knowing that there is a purpose to that space between an idea and its manifestation, and the process is the purpose. It sounds so cliche, but when you understand through the lens of Kabbalah, if everything is about your growth and transformation, when we achieve something, we manifest it, and we see later in the story, Jacob, finds his soulmate and achieves a state of success. It's almost like that's the most dangerous place to be when you arrive. You get to the top of the ladder, you think, all your ducks are in a row or everything is in place. That's where the complacency and the stagnancy begins, because we're not in that place of hunger and craving and desiring for help. So I feel like it's a big lesson for us, if we allow it in this week, to anticipate or almost be excited for that lack of clarity to come. It's not a bad sign. The Kabbalah is just so clear. It is a great sign, and it's one of the greatest moments or opportunities for growth for us if we can recognize it as that.
I love it. Actually, the ancient teachings of the Aryan Ravashla call it the state of zero, when you don't know. So it's the same state when you plant a seed of a tree. Before this seed begin to grow, it has to be disintegrate completely, and you have nothing, state of zero. And that's when endless light is channeled and begin the growth. So there's a state of I have, I don't have. I know, I don't know. And it's the paradox of life. What drives us is to know, to have clarity. What drives us is to accomplish, even to help people. But the moment that we can be rejuvenated and energized with the strength, with clarity, with vision, with protection, is those moments that I have a zero direction. And as Lou said, if I'm able to smile to myself, initially it will be scary with immediate defensive mechanism, but then relax. And then open yourself for the ladder, because the ladder that is all represent the Creator is giving you a chance to climb now. Yeah, but to where? Trust. Trust. The bridge between the unknown and the next level is trusting the Creator. And very often, each one of us, according to our own test, when we're going through the unknown, we're saying something is wrong with me. Other people seem to be so clear. They're pushing, then fire. So, and again, it's a test. If you over controlling over the situation, or you completely judge yourself, when you've totally allowed that void and emptiness to be with a sense of I am growing, I am growing. Miracle is coming. This is the month of miracles. Miracles are coming. Light is coming. That's by itself will allow. Now, it's always going to be a test. That's the reason will be an unexpected fear that will be there. The fact that you hear this information doesn't mean, I'm going to be ready. Doesn't work this way. Because that unknown is scary relative to each one of us.
Yeah, I had a situation this week where I got a call from my kid's school that we need to take her to the hospital. I was, a little frantic for a minute, driving on the wrong side of the road just to get to the school in time. And then I had this moment where I was like, this is also from the Creator. Like, the Creator is not outside of something that seems potentially terrible and tragic. And it really, I felt my breathing was, my whole body went into panic. And then I said, wait a second, the light is also here. And if someone called me and told me this was happening to them, why wouldn't that guidance I would give them apply here? And in that moment, I, caught my breath, started to breathe more deeply, got there, and thank God everything is fine. But I saw that, so funny because I was driving so fast, but everything was moving very slow because I was in such a state of panic. And realizing the Creator thinks I can handle this. It means I can handle it. Like, that was my big epiphany. It feels bad. It looks bad. It smells bad, but I can handle it. And in that moment, I felt almost, like the car went faster, the traffic moved. It was a moment for me that I felt I had to listen to my own advice, first of all. I'm always telling people, everything that happens to us, the voice I heard in my head, my own voice this time, was everything that happens to us, whether we perceive it as positive or negative, is there to get us closer to the Creator. And once you recognize that and you start to let it be that, you don't need the challenge as much because you're using it for what it's for. So I spent the rest of the afternoon talking to the Creator. And it worked. I mean, I want to say it worked. Obviously, that I hope that everybody else that we don't lose the lesson just because there's relief or peace or everything is okay. But it really drilled back into my bones in a renewed way the fact that the unknown, right? And I don't even know how long the unknown was. 15 minutes between when I got in the car and when I got to I saw my daughter. It was really that reminding myself I can't handle it. This is perfect for me. The creator is in it over and over and over again. It changed how I mean, I'm sure if I didn't remember that, I think the scene when I got there would have been much more chaotic as well. They wanted us to go to the emergency room, and it was like everything shifted, and we were I did handle it. But I think what's strong for me about this teaching is that it's the ladder doesn't show up when you think you know what's going on.
Exactly.
When you're in control, when everything works out according to your plan, the ladders that take us to the next level, and next level isn't, you're able to run faster, it's not a skills thing, it's a consciousness game. So next level for me is an expansive awareness, it's ability to create more, I want to use the word magic, but to really create more miracles. It's all the things that we talk about expanded. The next level of me expanded. So I think for all of us to stop dreading the unknown and the darkness and the confusion and to start to lean into it. Again, like you said, you get scared for a minute and then you remember, wait a second, the light of the creator is in everything, everyone, everywhere. The more I look for it, the more I'm going to find it. And you see the ladder bringing you up, the extension of the ladder that's meant to bring you to that next level.
The vision that helps me whenever we face unknown, fear, darkness, whatever, this type of challenge that we face, the way I look at this is, are you trying to protect yourself by moving backwards to a safe place, to your logical mind, to try to find something from your past, a tool from the past, a memory from the past that remind you how to deal with it or how bad it was? That's the safety of the mind versus you leaning forward towards the next level. And actually, that's the idea. Are you leaning backwards or you leaning forward towards the unknown? And that's when the certainty is shown. All this unknown is a test. Do you want to go back to only the limited tools that you have to see life? Or you open yourself to be shown new tools? And that's the moment of trust. That's the moment of trust. Interesting in the story that connects to this week, with the story of that Jacob saw his soulmate. He felt connected, he get clarity. And the father told him, you want her, you need to work for her for 7 years. And after 7 years, the father received him and gave him actually
Her older sister.
her older sister. Then he needed to work another 7 years. Without getting to the secret of soulmate there, but something very powerful it said in the Torah.
I'm sure everyone wants us to get into the secret of soulmates too.
Will. Yeah. So the Torah tells us that those 7 torturous years, because imagine you had to work for 7 years and another 7 years for his father-in-law was evil, wanting to manipulate him, wanting to hurt him, to destroy him. So it's like being in jail, tortured in jail. And the Torah tells us in the eyes of Jacob, those 7 years was like 7 days. And the Rav Berg always spoke about the idea, how do you shorten a process? We all going through a process. You trying to get better in something, you're going through a process. You're starting a business, you're going through a process. You're going to the next level of your relationship, you're going through a process. Your teenager going through something, it's their process, but it's actually your process. You're going to a health issues, you're going through a process. So we say Kabbalistically, anything move us forward towards best level, next level destination. Nevertheless, in between, there's a process. You cannot avoid the process. The question is, from this story, from this week, what's available, what is the attitude that Jacob had that the 7 years becomes like 7 days? Because if you really think about it, human nature is like this. When you do something that you hate, it feels long. When you do something that you love, it feels short. You know, an amazing vacation. Wow, I wish I will have another week. This 1 week late, 2 days. When you are in a company of friends or people that you don't like, or when a person is in jail, imagine how long is that process. So we know time is variable. Sometimes times feel long, sometimes time feel short. So what allows me to actually shorten the process? And it's very secret. It's very simple. The Rav said, when I declare in my mind, I don't like this moment. So actually, I'm prolonging the process. Because as difficult as this moment is the light of the Creator existed? Absolutely yes. When I say I don't like this moment, I'm disconnected from the light of the Creator that is here. The light of the Creator is a force beyond time. More I'm able to elevate my consciousness, try, inject intention, pray to love this very moment without thinking about the next moment. So what I'm entering to a deeper dimension. The Zohar tells us it's Bina consciousness. And in that dimension, the future is already there. Suddenly, I'm speeding up the process. Or I can't stand this moment. I'm in the dentist chair. I can't stand it. I can't wait when the hour will be over. Versus, don't wait to like a time from an hour from now. Like this moment. How can I like it? I don't like. The light of the Creator is always here. The fact that I've opened myself to embrace this moment, then it's no longer about the situation, the challenge, the pain. Jacob knew it has nothing to do with his father-in-law. It's a test to help him to get closer to the Creator. And sometimes to get closer to the Creator is very simple as loving this moment.
Right. I often ask people, how do you know when you're, how do you know that you're in the right place at the right time? That's where you are. You're there already, right? It's not about looking for a sign or a symbol. It's where you're at is where the Creator actually thinks you need to be in that moment. Even though you could have decided to be at a different restaurant or to have bought a different car, chosen a different house, or lived in a different, in every single moment, you're exactly where you need to be to reveal whatever you're meant to reveal or realize whatever you're meant to realize. And when you talk to somebody who's going through a difficult process, often we say, or they say, I know it's going to be okay in the end. I'm sure things will work out fine. And I remember in a lecture, Rav Berg once said, you know it's going to be okay in the end. Why don't you live there now? Right? Like
Exactly.
you send your consciousness to the time when you're good. Everything worked out. If you know it's going to work out, why are you stressed out now? Take it. We use the movie reel metaphor a lot back then in the 80s. You take where you're at now, you take the end and you cut the film and you put the two pieces of film together and you're living in it's okay already. If it's going to be okay then, it's already okay now.
That's how you shorten the process.
Exactly. And I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it in other people's lives. It really is that perspective shift. Because time is relative, we get to decide if it's torture or if it's, you'd rather be somewhere else, but you appreciate in the moment that there is a divine purpose in it, even if you don't see it. Right. I think that's the thing is people want to know, why am I here right now?
Back to the first concept.
Right.
You
I
don't know. That's when the light is the greatest.
Totally. I know I always bring it to this, but one of the gifts of Sagittarians is that they don't take things so seriously. And I feel like it's a gift for those of us who are intense about needing to know, needing to control, having all the information to be able to lighten up, right? For sure, the last, how many years is it already? 6, 7 years have really shown us, you can have all the plans in the world. You can think you know everything that's going to happen, if it's financially, health, globally. So many things have disintegrated in moments in the last few years. If that wasn't a powerful enough lesson for all of us, this week we really have the opportunity with the energy of the week, plus the be light about it. I don't know. I'm here. I can't wait to find out why I'm here. That was something I think in the last few weeks I heard from Michael Berg as well. Wake up in the morning and be curious. What's the light going to show me? It's my day. I have a schedule, but I don't know how things are going to go. Be interested and curious, looking for what's going to happen.
And that's what allows miracles in our life. Because really, let's open ourselves to manifest miracles. The Rav Berg said, if we don't see miracles daily, we need to question, am I really connected to the light? So really that attitude of being curious and expecting the gift, the surprises, let's open miracles. We need miracles. The world needs miracles. The moment of miracle, when you don't take it for granted and you don't think it's yours, a moment that can strengthen our connection to know that I'm led by the Creator. So we need those cases from the Creator.
Totally. I'm excited for this week and to continue to hear from you all how it's working for you. We had somebody write to us recently that was insinuating that we are watching them, and we know exactly what's going on in his life, and we're talking about it on the podcast. But again, this is ancient wisdom. It's precise. It's perfect, and it's perfect for, I know for me, for everyone, what we're going through in these times. Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow us on those platforms to receive more content to support you in what we share in every episode. You can also visit weeklyenergyboost.com to send us a message, search through our archives, or click the donate button and support the production of our podcast. But most importantly, share this episode. I meeting different people every week that have received the link from a friend, and their minds and their eyes are open, and they're so grateful. So you keep doing that work, and we'll see you next week on the Weekly Energy Boost.